So it's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to an impromptu preview for Sheffield United, Aston Villa versus Sheffield United on Friday, the 22nd of December. And dangerous day, I think, to have a game on, specifically when I think we're the only game on that night as well, Paddy. And most people will be breaking up for Christmas on the 22nd of December. So I'd imagine I might even find my own way into a watering hole to watch this game on Friday night, Paddy. But hopefully Villa will be a lot more corpus mentis than I will be by the time this match kicks off on Friday. But chance to go top of the league, Paddy.
Yeah, and look, it might be our only chance this season, so I hope they go and grab it with both hands and give us just one night of celebration. That's all I ask for. I'm not being greedy. I don't want us to win the league. Of course I want us to win the league. I'm not expecting us to win the league. And yeah, let us take our screenshots and share them on social media for one night only and pretend that the league is upside down and have the crack and all that kind of stuff. But all joking aside, serious game. We need to treat it with the respect that it deserves, and I believe that if we treat it with respect and we go and get at them, we will score early and we will score often and we'll win easy. But doesn't always work out that way, does it? So
it certainly doesn't. We know that. We know all too well, Paddy. In fairness, against the likes of Forest and against the likes of Wolves this season, games we thought that look, we can go here and give these teams a good rattle. Forest obviously after getting rid of their manager recently, Wolves after getting rid of their manager during the course of this year, things don't work out that way. So Sheffield United, the reason I bring up that is Sheffield United have the wily old fox, Chris Wilder, back in there. Things haven't really gone to plan for him since he left Sheffield United. But, some managers just have a certain magic sauce at the club. And Sheffield United tend to have that manager that has magic sauce, like they had it with Neil Warnock previously. And who's to say Chris Wilder can't ignite their fortunes again? But like you said, Paddy, I still expect us to go into this game and to be raging favourites, I think, and I expect it to be a professional performance from Aston Villa, and I hope to come up with 3 points.
Yeah, our good friend Joe is worried about you putting the jinx on us. He messaged me the other day about it as well.
Always, Joe's just trying to get the jersey. He's just trying to get the Savo jersey. I know what you're up to, Joe. I know what you're up to.
Look, it's not going to be easy. They'll be well organised. They'll treat the game the same way Brentford did at the weekend, and if they can manage to get themselves ahead, they're going to be very, very tough the weekend to break down. I saw some stat today that they haven't scored a goal in the first half of any game this season.
And we haven't conceded in the first half at home. Yeah. They haven't scored in the first half away, and we haven't conceded in the first half at home. So it'll be like 4-4 at half time. It's usually what happens at Aston Villa.
It can happen. I'm not expecting it to happen. We have had some dingers, and look, I'm not sure if I'm correct in this, but is the last time we played them in the Premier League the day of the ghost goal? Would that be correct?
At Villa Park?
Yeah. I don't think we've played them
since. Probably would be, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think there's too many of them still about from that team, but I'm sure they will be using it to try and rile them up for the weekend.
that goal, nobody talks about Tevez's goals and Mascherano's performances anymore for West Ham, and they actually got done for that and had to pay. Like they got done for actual ill doing in that with regards to that stuff, which kept them up and relegated Sheffield United. No one ever talks about it anymore. Yet everybody talks about Oren Nyland's unbelievable save.
I suppose, and there's similarities now to what's going to happen on Friday night, because if you remember, that game was the first game back in Project Restart, and it was the only live game on at that time. And it was the whole world watching. And all of a sudden, it was our fault that somebody forgot to turn on the technology. They did have a player sent off as well, which probably means we probably would have won it anyway. But nobody remembers these things. And they were complaining about that sending off too. Also, there is a litany of mistakes throughout that season that if they didn't go the other way, we wouldn't have even been in the mire of trying to stay up at that stage. Nobody will forget Kevin Friend's error against Crystal Palace when he booked Jack for passing the ball. So yeah. Thankfully, those days I think are behind us. I think we're in the upper echelons of the league, and we need to be treated with respect by everybody. And with that, it brings the people of Sheffield United wanting to come and take a scalp. And so be it. If that's what they can do, happy days.
And look, I suppose yes, they are bottom of the league table. They've one win out of their last 6 games. They've one win and a draw out of their last 6 games only. They've conceded 43 goals. Like, there's no way Villa is going to be a 0-0. It's just not going to be a 0-0. And there's no way Villa and this isn't being cocky again. I keep feeling like I have to say this. Like, we have a run of however many games Villa have played under Unai Emery. We're going to score goals in this game. And
we don't.
Sheffield United are going to concede because Sheffield United are missing like Johnny Egan, they're missing Tom Davies, they're missing what's the other lad's name? Chris Basham, obviously.
Yeah. Norrington Davis, Brian Brewster.
Brewster and Jebson up top are most likely going to be out as well. So, like, when you look down through their team, it's most likely Cameron Archer is going to be playing wide on the right, wide and the left, and McBurney's going to be up top on his own. And McT then on the right hand side with Hammer, the guy they signed from Coventry, coming up through the middle. Like, it's a game. Gustavo Hammer, yeah. It's like it's a game that Villa should be relishing. Like, as I say, they play Friday, the 22nd. Then they don't get back in. They don't play again till the 29th. They should be able to go hammer and tongs in this game and still be able to have a good. Oh, sorry, we played 26th. You're right, yeah, we played 26th. But still, even at that, it's a 4-day break where most other teams. Well, I know it'll be staggered out over the course of the Christmas period, but it's a 4-day break that we should be able to compensate with. So we should go hammer and tongs, because you win, you go to 41 points. Not only are you safe from relegation, but you're also top of the league. And then Liverpool have Arsenal the day after. 1-1 draw in that game leaves Villa top of the league for Christmas. As I said before, and I was nervous, and I did have the squeaky bum time when I was when I was watching the game against what you call them at the weekend against Brentford. That's the carrot. Like Unai Emery is saying, how many of you guys put your hands up, hand on heart? How many of you guys thought that you'd be top of the league when Steven Gerrard was sacked? Be top of the league 18 months not even 18 months, 13 months time when Steven Gerrard was sacked, and we'll be top of the league at Christmas. The potential is real. It's real potential to be there. But they have to go out and score goals. And I think they will score goals, and I think they've got the team to score goals. And even though we're missing Boubacar Kamara, I think it's going to be a very much like I think the team would be able to name the team amongst ourselves here tonight. I think Bailey comes in on the right, Ramsey comes in on the left. I think McGinn and Louise in the middle, with Diaby playing off Watkins up top. I'm not sure he brings.
I don't think it's as cut and
do you think he brings in Dendoncker straight away?
Well, with Tielemans carrying a knock, possibly, and then we obviously saw Pau Torres go off at the weekend, so there could be a number of enforced changes, maybe with Man United in mind as well, to make sure that we're at full tilt for Man United. So it could come at a good time for us, that we have to rest Tielemans, we have to rest Pau Torres, and we could see a little bit of a shake up there.
Yeah, even at that, we'll be testing on the bench if Pau Torres isn't good to go, if Tielemans isn't good to go. But like, realistically speaking, first 11 that goes out there at home should be right up for this game. Should be right up for this game. Even if Pau Torres isn't there, you play Carlos and Conza together. You bring Cash in at right back. You've got Dini. Yeah, look, we're to the pin of our collar. Then for defenders, we'll have Clement Longley, and we'll have maybe he goes with Longley and he goes with Conza at right back. Who knows? But it'll be interesting. Like, we'll be to the pin of our collar for defenders, but we should still be able to go out with a team well according to the panel that we have, to go out and have a good crack off this game and score multiple goals. I saw that you had up there. According to Dougie's Twitch stream, Pau was injured for this Friday. I saw that.
I don't know why Dougie is giving out information like that. There's no need for it.
I saw that, and I thought it was poorly communicated English from Dougie, was how I would put it. But look, as I say, you could be, could be right. Sean Gallagher makes a great point here as well. His biggest fear for Friday is that McGinn gets booked and we've no McGinn or Kamara for Old Trafford, and maybe no Tielemans other. That's a worry. That is a worry. But once again, looking past these games to Manchester United, let's we win against Sheffield United and lift all boats.
That's the mistake we're all making. I'm sure the players aren't making that, but no. Ideally, we're ahead on 60 minutes, and McGinn gets taken off for a Tommy O'Reilly or whoever that is, or whatever that looks like at the time, or young Tim. Yeah, and look, young Tim could start. You just don't know what way he's going to. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't second guess what way he sets out the team at all. You can be sure that young Tim is up to speed in training and playing in that system. So I have absolutely no reservations with the players he has coming in, because they're all well trained. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there.
Paddy, this is also Dougie Louise in his Twitch stream said that Paddy Cash needs to go to Turkey to get the hair sorted out as well. So I think we'll take the injury news with a pinch of salt with regards to that, man. Yeah, and I'll go with Matty as well, if he's going, because Father Time is undefeated and it's beginning to catch up with me as well at the moment. So I'll go with Matty
a long time ago.
If Matty's buying, I'll go with him to keep him safe on the flight. But yeah, look, I suppose looking at their team, I know you'll probably save this for the team sheet tantrum, and you haven't asked me in a while, but like players that they have that could get into our team. There's two players I like on their team. There's one player I like for his footballing ability, but I wouldn't like him at the club. There's just something about him that I don't like him as a person. I don't know why, but I think he's a good footballer, and it's Ahmed, the fella at centre half with the very, very Bosnian sounding name, whose name I can't pronounce this hour of night. It's been a long day.
Ahmed Hodzic.
Yeah, that guy, exactly, that guy, and Omar Bogle at right back, or Jaden Bogle. Is it Omar or Jaden? It's Jaden Bogle at right back. Omar was the striker. Jaden Bogle at right back. I've always found there was something about him that I always liked, and I think in a good team, I think he would be much better.
Possibly. I couldn't pick anyone out of that team that I would even hazard a guess would even get in on our subs bench. That's being totally honest. There was one player, John Egan, probably is the closest I would think of, and even at that, he's a backup player. He wouldn't get into our team.
No, John Fleck, Paddy. No,
it's just my Irish bias. Definitely not John Fleck. McAtee is a good player, and McAtee is more than capable of causing us a lot of trouble. There's a reason Man City are not letting go of him. They obviously see there's great potential there, and they turned down a number of offers for him in the summer. So he's getting Premier League football now and doing pretty well. He scored a goal the other night in the manager's first game back. So yeah, he'll be flying. Chris Wilder's a good manager. He's a salty character, but a good manager.
Yeah. Doesn't like Villa, if I remember rightly. Always had a kind of a snide word for Villa. Am I right in thinking that?
I think he always has a snide word for everybody. I wouldn't read too much into that. He can be a bit of a Neil Warnock character when he needs to be. I think it's just something about people from that part of the world, or that's bred into them in that part of the world. Who knows? Look, he'll set them out well. He'll set them out not to concede. That will be their first and foremost. And just like Brentford at the weekend, try and hit us at the break, and that's ultimately where they could catch us. But as we said, without a first half goal, you'd have to think we'd go and score first. And I think if we score first, we'll score a few.
I think so too. I think this could be one of those games where Watkins gets 2 and maybe Ramsey comes up with 1, and we're singing at 60 minutes. We did the Villa Park podcast last night with Rich and the guys, and one of the games I reminisced on and completely broke the rules of the question, of course, as is my way, was the Manchester United game when Unai Emery first came in, and we were 2 up after 11 minutes, and then Ramsey scored just after halftime. He scored an own goal just before halftime and scored himself just after halftime. And I'd love to have another game like that where we could be relative comfort, from scoring early goals. But like, as I said, Sheffield United could come on Friday and play 7 at the back and make it difficult for us to break down. So it's not a gimme for sure. Yes, there's 30 points in the difference between the two teams, and there's 17 places in the Premier League, in the 16 places in the difference between the two, but they're still a Premier League team. For me, I felt that they were always going to go down, given the amount of, or the lack of investment that they put in. When you look at how much other teams have spent, even last year, just to stay up, like Forest and so on, last year to stay up. I think the teams that came up this year, they didn't. Bournemouth did. Bournemouth went and spent a few pound, all right. But Sheffield United and Luton didn't, and Sheffield United are kind of known for not spending a ton of cash. When they get promoted, kind of like in Norwich kind of setup there, whereby they're run very frugally, which is good in a lot of ways. And yes, they have spent money on the likes of Ryan Brewster previously and a couple of more. And they've spent 18 million on Cameron Archer. Yeah, 18 million on Cameron Archer, which they may most likely will see some of that back again anyway. I would say it's calculated gamble from that point of view, but they didn't see it back on Ryan Brewster, and that was the plan there too, was that they might see him go back to Liverpool and see some of that money come back, but it never materialized. So I think Villa will obviously have to have their heads on swivels going into this game and not let the Friday night lights get to them under Villa Park, which they haven't done under Unai Emery. And if we make this 16 games won in a row, we'll be top of the league, and then we can sit back and hopefully watch Liverpool and Arsenal play out a 0-0 VAR-ridden game on Saturday night, and then basically toast ourselves all the way until the 26th, while we will be top of the league.
Yeah, and look, it has the potential to be one of the great nights under the lights of Villa Park. The club have put together a light show on the Aston Villa app, so you hold up your phone, and that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I would not be one bit surprised to see fireworks before the game. It's the 23rd of December. Most people are finishing up on a half day in work. There's going to be many of watering hole visited around Villa Park, and I think it's going to be raucous enough to get us over the line. And the fans have to play their part. The fans have been brilliant. The two recent games against Arsenal and Manchester City, the fans were absolutely incredible. So we need to step up to the mark as fans and do the exact same thing and push them over the line.
Absolutely, 100%. There's a group of guys going over from Ireland, a family going over, the Tanzi family, and they reached out to me to let me know that they were going over, and they were lucky enough to get tickets as well. And I hope they have a fantastic day. They were. I think they might actually be over there now, but they're going to get to go to the game as a family on Friday. So looking forward to hearing back from them. And if you're watching, John, thank you so much, I suppose, for always watching the podcast and for reaching out with regards to that. And I know there's a good few heads going over from Ireland to this game, flying over and then flying back again on Saturday, taking the Christmas market. And also, it's mad the amount of messages I've been getting about United on And Stephen's Day as well, going, any tickets floating around for United Stephen's Day? I'm going to just take a chance and go over. Yeah, like hen's teeth at the moment, United tickets are. But yeah, there seems to be so much, and rightfully so, there is so much interest in going over to see Villa and people trying to get the games, as many games as they can, because we're on a crest of a wave and people have time off at this time of year. So long may it continue that we keep on filling out the stadium and at its capacity as it is now, and not a reduced capacity, without dredging up the podcast from yesterday. I think it is important, I suppose, really to make hay while the sun shines. So I think that's going to do it.
It is. Just to give one more shout out to Leon Bland, is coming home from New York for Christmas, and he's getting to the game. And he messaged me on Twitter trying to get a ticket sorted, but he got sorted in the end, and he just needs one for Burnley now. And I hope he gets sorted, and I hope he has a great trip home. And that, coupled with us potentially going top of the league, would be fantastic.
Kieran Moore, no, I was going to Kieran O'Callaghan, should I say, asked what game do we think our bubble is going to burst? It's got to end at some point. Yeah, we'll discuss that when it happens. I suppose really, like, I do look down at the fixture list and potentially the end of January with Newcastle, or
I'll tell you when it'll happen. I'll tell you when it'll happen. It will happen on the last home game of the season, on the day that we lift the Premier League. The day we lift the Premier League trophy, and the result won't matter.
Against Liverpool, we'll lose to Liverpool and still have enough to win the. There's a prediction. Go straight down to your local bookmaker on that one. I think go back. Go down to your bookmaker on that one for sure.
Look, there's no point in worrying about when it's going to end. Let's just enjoy it while it's happening, because we deserve this. We've been in the doldrums. We've been in the shit. We've been in the Championship. And by God, is playing Sheffield United on a Friday night before Christmas to go top of the league much better than playing Rotherham away on a Tuesday night in February.
Oh yeah,
5 years ago. So be thankful for what we have. Live and enjoy every minute, because it never lasts forever either.
Absolutely. And with that, this podcast isn't going to last as well. It's a bit of a shorter one tonight. But thank you so much to everybody for joining us. If you like the podcast, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, still give us a thumbs up and be sound. And if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. And we'll be back again with Team Sheet Tantrums and the like on Friday. And post matches might be outside that little church I used to do them in about a year and a half ago. When the Galway Lions would meet up in Taft's Bar, so we might be on location kneeling down on the side of the road somewhere to do a post-match podcast, but we will bring it to you either way after the game against Sheffield United. And I hope you join us for the Team Sheet Tantrum and the post-match tomorrow night as well, or on Friday night as well. So thanks so much, everybody, for your time. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.